Tomorrow at the state capitol, local advocacy groups are inviting parents to learn more about early childhood education. It's all part of Early Childhood Day on the Hill, and it runs from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Several agencies will be on hand to discuss resources and answer questions. They'll also have information on how to engage your local representatives. We caught up with Senate President Stuart Adams and Senator Luz Escamilla at the Capitol to discuss the issue. Glad to have both of you with us for a very important conversation. We're talking early childhood development this morning. One stat I want to throw out to start off, 90% of a child's brain develops within the first 5 years of life. So that's kind of the basis of this conversation we're having. Early Childhood Day on the Hill. Both of you are going to be participating in that. Let's start off by talking about why this is such an important issue to you. President, let's start with you.
Well, again, it's exciting to have parents come up here, not only to see the Capitol and participate what we're doing, it's actually to learn from those that help with early childhood development. There's so many opportunities for parents now with all the online events and all the other educational opportunities. It'll be great to have them up here and to be able to participate and to be able to share ideas with them.
Senator Escamilla.
As a mom of two under the age of 5, this is obviously something that I hold very dear to my heart. It's critical that parents get empowered to make decisions for their children, and empower, in order to empower them, we need information. That's what this day is going to make it happen, and they're going to be here at the Hill, learning also about the many things that we're talking at the legislature regarding early childhood education and development. We need to invest. The return investment is high when we start at a young age for our children. And I like that this is a bipartisan effort, making sure kids get access to high quality early childhood education.
That's why I wanted to have the both of you on, is to show the bipartisan nature of this. You guys both have personal stories. Tell us about those. It's a grandson for you, President.
Well, I have 15 and a half grandchildren and a grandson that actually participated in an early education system called Upstart. And it's a great system because what happens is they do it at home. And not only does my grandson get the ability to learn how to be on the computer and have that interaction with the computer, but it actually helps him with my daughter and my son-in-law to be able to learn how to interact with each other as they learn. And it's been a phenomenal experience. He entered kindergarten and way ahead of his school. In fact, he tested extremely well. But more than testing well, more than learning how to do math and to actually do reading, it built his self-esteem, and he feels like he can participate, and I think he feels like he's smart, which is a big deal.
All of this before starting kindergarten, so that foundation built up to that point. Senator Escamilla, your daughter.
Yes, so Sol, it's participating actually currently on the Upstart 4-year-old program, so it's very critical to clarify that it's for 4-year-olds. And if you think about it, we don't have a universal preschool in Utah. So for many of our children, this is the only program that we have in place that is really addressing literacy, reading, and math and science. And it's been truly a life-changing for her because she comes with some speech delayed issues, and it has completely changed the dynamic because she's able to do it personally with a computer at her pace and to test her, the ability to do pronunciation and wording. It has been really interesting to see how it's shifting completely her ability to communicate better.
I want to go back to a thought. Oh, did you have something?
Yeah, so Upstart started actually with low to moderate income families and in English learner families. And now we've expanded as a state for almost all kids. So it's really kind of interesting to see how they've evolved. And when they started, we actually put an independent evaluator on the Upstart program to find out what results we would have. And we found that their learning gains far exceed any other pre-K program. And they actually track the kids into the 3rd and 4th grades, and they see those learning gains continue on with them. So it not only helps them prepare for kindergarten, but it stays with them throughout their life. And I think as they prepare well and learn early, as you mentioned, I think it actually sets them on the right course to be able to have a great experience in our schools and education.
Yeah, I can't help but think back to that very thought. We talk about education and challenges and being educated, but it really starts at a young age, and you're seeing that firsthand with your daughter.
Absolutely, and actually I will say it starts with prenatal care. And I've been very lucky to have the support of both Republicans and Democrats with addressing early childhood education at a 0 age with babies, and how do we help parents, empower them with information to be better parents. Upstart has that component as well, and I'll mention that it's not only that computer and the child, the parents engage. And there's almost like a case manager that's helping you as a parent navigate the system because it requires commitment. And that's one thing that I think parents will learn if they come here, to this program.
Let's talk about barriers and challenges that Utah families face. Maybe Senator Escamilla, let's start with you on that one. When it comes to being able to access this and get their children involved.
So the reality is we have what we call social determinants of health. Those social determinants really make a difference and almost tells you the outcome of a child based on income, the zip code they're growing, whether they have transportation, air quality, health. So if you have programs that allow parents to help them through this process, so that's why the case management is critical. Programs that succeed are programs that have the interaction with parents and they're helping them navigate this because maybe those parents have never even had a chance to access some of these programs. So by teaching them how to get their kids to succeed is really, it's critical. Parents are critical in this whole equation and many families are struggling with 2 or 3 jobs just to make it. So if we have tools, and in this case, some technology are critical for those type of tools that we're looking for. They will never replace teachers, clearly, but it helps it make it easier for those kids that are already coming back with a disadvantage, whether it's based on their income. We've had kids entering 1st grade or kindergarten, they've never opened a book. They open them backwards, right? By the time they already are behind, there's already that achievement gap starting on kindergarten. We need to close that gap at that early age.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, with the Upstart program, it's free. And I think people need to understand that. We actually provide it for them. Upstart will provide, if they don't have a computer, they'll provide their computer for them, they'll get their internet. So it's actually free. And again, they have a tutor that helps the kids and actually helps the parents help the child. So it actually builds that interaction again. So the barrier to entry is very low, obviously free. But also the cost of the state is very low, a few $100s, when regular pre-K, brick and mortar pre-K can actually cost the state, if we were to go that way, thousands of dollars per child.
No doubt about it, parents play a key role, but government also plays a role here. So let's shift into that. I read your op-ed that you wrote in the Deseret News. You talked about yourself being a grandfather, a father, and you are a mother. Almost everyone in the state legislature fills that role in some way or another. However, what can government do to help push this along and make sure we're really focusing on this early childhood development?
And again, I think it's funding. We've tried to fund Upstart very well over the past few years. We have a $5 million appropriation in again this year, and that will expand the program to another 6,000 to 7,000 pre-Kers, those 4-year-olds. Yeah, it's kind of fun as you go to an Upstart graduation. You'd actually think these young kids got their college, got a doctorate degree because they've done so well. And it's fun to see, but the government funding, I think, as we look at it, is so essential to be able to provide the service to kids.
Senator Escamilla, your thoughts on the role of government?
So I think there is a critical role, clearly for families that are struggling and that are coming again with that disadvantaged component. It's an issue of equity more than anything. It's not equality, but equity. How do we bring that equitable component to the conversation? You bring good programs that are evidence-based, data-driven. And going back to what the president mentioned, when we know that it's working and the data shows that, why not invest on those programs? There's also Head Start programs, right? So we have the other programs where it's more comprehensive. You have a teacher component. But right now, to put that in 50,000 kids, because we have about 50,000 4-year-olds, that's our estimate. The more we increase those licenses for accessing one program at a time is making a difference on that child. And I think we need to do more and start, like I said, in prenatal, and they're still not here yet, but we're investing in that education. At the end is reducing costs when it comes to criminal justice and our education, because many of them may end up in special ed, and if we can have intervention at the young age, it really saves us money on special ed in the future as well.
Okay, very important conversation. Appreciate your time during a busy session. Thanks for being here with us this morning.
Great to be with you. Great to have you at the Capitol.
Yeah, glad to be here.